Hey, Jerry Winters. Welcome to the broadcast. So, folks, I haven't said it in quite a while. Hey, Crambaruni, good to have you here. So, haven't said it in a while. Welcome to Freedom of Speech and You if you tuned in late. We're discussing the election tonight. We started off with topics about a meme that I saw this morning on one of my Republican friends' Facebook pages. And it was talking about going back to 1945 as though that were some glamorous time that we could go back to. We started out the show and we went through the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th Amendments, which all would not exist if we rolled time back to 1945. And in those amendments was the presidential succession, which guarantees when the president is not elected by something like what happened on Jan 6th, that the vice president would take over or the Speaker of the House would take over. So it determines the presidential succession. We would not have the right to vote at age 18. We would not have limitations preventing members of Congress and members of the Senate from doing things that could raise their pay. So if we didn't have that, they could go and lose the election, raise their pay, and since their retirement is tied to their pay, they could get more retirement even though they weren't reelected. So you really don't want to roll things back to 1945. Never mind all the stuff that wouldn't happen with the court system. Never mind all the social things that wouldn't happen. And, it may seem glamorous to go back to World War II, post-World War II era and have the strong military and all that sort of thing. But we really have all that right now. The idea that the Republicans present that the borders are open, the only people saying that are the Republicans. The idea that America's falling apart, it's only falling apart if we elect MAGA Republicans who let it fall apart. Because America is in good shape. Yes, it can be better. Yes, we can have better equity. Yes, we can go more forward, be more progressive, give women back the right to choose what to do with their bodies. Never should have been taken away in the first place. So that's what we started talking about at the beginning of the show. Because when we got to the topic of what changed, we took away Roe versus Wade. But again, if we roll back to 1945, Roe versus Wade wouldn't even exist to take away. So, hi, Ryan. So again, everything out there, that would change. So much stuff would change. Never mind the fact that you wouldn't have an internet if you went back to 1945. That was the one point that I wanted to make most of all on this show that I did not make it earlier. If you roll back to 1945, you wouldn't have an internet. So all this stuff that you share on social media saying you want to go back to 1945, bye-bye, social media. Bye-bye your voice. Bye-bye the technology that brings you instant 24-hour news. Goodbye, Fox News. Goodbye, RSBN. Goodbye, right? All of them. Just name them all. They'd all be gone. They'd all be gone. You'd be stuck with the networks that existed back in 1945. In fact, you got to stop and even think what you would have. In 1945, you would have rockets launched. And the biggest thing that the Republicans have completely forgot about. If you roll America back to 1945, if you literally could do that, you would not have the technology that we have nowadays that protects America from all those other countries that have the technology that we have right now. So if you take America and only change the United States and roll America back to 1945, but the rest of the world stays in 2022, you have just shit on America and made America more vulnerable than anything you're worried about. You've shit on America and said, fuck you, America. Bye-bye. So there is no rolling back to 1945. I don't care what year you say, MAGA Republican. You cannot roll back the clock. There is no going back. You cannot close the Pandora's box of what has been opened and just erase all of history. You can try to do that. You can talk like that, but you cannot do that because the Pandora's box has been opened. Reality exists in 2022. You can't take reality that exists in 2022 and put it back in the box. You can't undo the reality that we have Republicans who talk about morality and go out there and rape young girls and do horrible things with women and then go and pay for it to go away, who father babies with women, say on one side they want to get rid of abortion, but as soon as having a baby with somebody that they weren't supposed to have a baby with affects their politics, pays for the abortion, and pays her to shut up and go away. So there is no going back. And this mythical going back to some magical year and fixing everything with just a wink of an eye with a vote. Shit, if that worked in 2016 to 2020, Trump would have fixed everything. He didn't. The only thing he fixed was his debt. He fixed his debt problem by becoming president and grifting America every single day. They just don't stop to think what they're asking for. They don't stop to think the liberties they're throwing away. They don't stop to think the protections that they have that keep them from having to work like the people in China without stopping. They don't stop and think that they would lose their break time, their sick time, their vacation time, their disability, their Family Leave Act. All these things came from the Democrats. Their minimum wage. They would lose all of that if they keep voting for Republicans. Not to mention Social Security disability. Because we have these Republicans going out there and saying, we should vote on this every 4 years. We have some Republicans out there saying we should vote on this every single year. Do you think they're going to vote out a government program and put it back? They're not. They will vote out that program and tell you tough cookies. It's your problem. Did you read the open for tonight's show? Did you read the description and you think, whoa, what's he going to do tonight? Is he really going to talk serious tonight about voting and all that thing? And have you been watching for the last 49 minutes and thinking, oh, he's just doing the regular show. He's just, got it coasting. And he's just going to come on and just kind of like, talk about politics. Well, you're here. 14 of you are here. And tonight I'm on fire because here we sit in the Eastern time zone at 7:50 p.m. on Saturday, the last Saturday before Tuesday's election day. And in Florida today, the early voting stopped for most places. I think there's a few counties like Orange County, Orlando, that it's open also tomorrow. It does vary by county, and some counties don't even have early voting. Andrea lives in one of those that doesn't even have early voting. And early voting is not a guaranteed thing in all 50 states either. Some people have to go vote on election day, or they can only get an absentee ballot for certain reasons. But I do hope that everyone goes and votes. And I do hope that they educate themselves on who they're voting for and what they're voting for. And that they're not voting for something said that is as fake as this piano here or this other furniture in this virtual room. Because everything in this virtual room behind me is as fake as the stuff that the Republicans are telling you. And I'm fired up about that. Okay? Everything back there is as fake as what they're telling you. They tell you the Green New Deal is bad. I got a green wall behind me. I just proved it by pulling up the other camera. Okay? I'm the one that's telling you the truth. I'm on the side with the Democrats. I'm telling you the truth of what's really going on out there. I take down the fake screen that others are painting, and I tell you what's really going on out there. Okay? I'm so on fire tonight. I didn't plan all this. I mean, I had like one or two topics. I was going to talk about the meme that I saw. I was going to talk about the way that affected the Constitution. I was going to talk about the way that it affected the court system. I mean, I love to be somebody like Glenn Kirshner or one of the other great legal experts out there who could cite off all the different things that the Supreme Court has done and tell you what would be undone if we roll back to 1945. I mean, I'd love to be able to tell you all that detail. The only thing I can really tell you is that we would be in a great deal of hurt if we could actually go backwards. The only time we should go backwards is when someone told us we were going forward to a greater America with slogans like "Make America Great Again." I mean, we might as well call what's on their hats MAGA. Many angry goons. I had the last word and I just forgot it. Oh, yeah. Many angry goons assembled. Because that's what we had on Jan 6, 2021. We had many angry goons assembled.